the whole, see, I'm more imagery instead of letter forms. I'm more like characters and imagery instead of letter forms, because when I was coming up, there wasn't that many cats doing characters, especially on the West Coast. Ain't on the West Coast. There's probably like a handful of cats, but that's what the West Coast was really known for. Was their characters more than their letter forms. East Coast had the letters. Then you know, West Coast just started picking up letter forms like wow, just blew up like boom. You know, but still keeping it real and paying the homage to the East Coast because they know that's where it came from. You know, West Coast, you know, has two different forms. You know, they got their, you know, they got that little gangster style, and then they also got the, you know, the straight up East Coast style. You know what I mean? But when it came to the characters, ain't nobody fucking with the West Coast on characters. You know? Back then coming up. But the thing is, I started doing characters because I don't know. I felt like there was too many cats doing letters. I wanted to do something different, something original. So, but even though I threw my goals at letters, I threw them. Just never stuck with it. I just kept the whole imagery character-based form, just pumping that out there. So that was just a whole nother element to me. And I basically had to try to be original with that. And you know, when I started, I was doing all these crazy characters, like doing all these wild, like bugged out looking characters, big eyes, and you know, crazy teeth and all types of stuff, and pudgy little bodies, and yeah, just weirded out characters, bugged out, the bugged out style. I've been doing this, like I said, for 20 years. I think professional for like 10. My first real gig was like when I was like 17 for a guy named Tony Robbins, motivational speaker. That was my first real gig. It was like 2-3 story meals. This is back in the 90s, man. Ain't nobody, the cats weren't doing no 3-story meals. Not really. I did one, yeah, when I was 17, both sides, and it was like a ropes climbing course, and it was for all these rich people from around the world coming, they were putting it up there, taking on a tour. The first piece was a tour piece, and I didn't know nothing about business or anything. I burned everything, you know. I just came up on mad spray paint, a couple G's. I was happy. I was like, what? I'm getting paid off this? Right, yeah. So that helped it a little bit. Not really, but over time, and as time progressed, things just start, you know, doing a lot of things in San Diego, meeting the right people. But ultimately, I think once I moved to San Francisco, once I stopped working slave jobs, because I was like working the slave job and painting at the same time and doing all that stuff at the same time. Once I just dropped that stuff and just believed in what I was, believed in myself and believed in my work, it just started like, it just started happening, man. So once I moved to San Francisco, I got this opportunity to move to San Francisco, like rent free, studio, boom, clack, get to paint, make all these paintings. That's what I did, and I think the career just started picking up from there. It's hella picking up, let's say. I don't want to say what everybody else is saying, and that's just like, yeah, just, you know, keep doing what you're doing, believing in what you do. All this is, you know, that's definitely part of it, but there's footwork too. It's footwork too, man. You gotta put in work. It ain't no joke. You gotta put in work. If you don't put in no work, if you think it's just gonna be handed to you, then yeah, you know, something else coming, man, because I don't think there really is an answer. I don't think there really is a way or process or an understanding of wanting to be a successful artist or to be where somebody else needs to be. I think you just need to be where you need to be at the right moment, at the right time. Something will happen, and you just believe in what you do. I'm not gonna dog that at all. Just like, yo, just put it in, you gotta put it work. It's definitely a sacrifice, man. It's definitely a sacrifice.